especially like with really talented people, a lot of times that person, they can benefit financially from controlling them. So they get a hold of that. They go, look, I'm just going to babysit you, keep you on drugs, and then suck money out of you. And then there's a lot of those guys that wind up keeping these incompetent managers for years longer than they should because the guy gets them drugs too.
Right.
Because the guy gets them girls, he gets them drugs, he sets up parties, he does all the stuff that doesn't help the band, it doesn't help their music, but it helps keep him around.
In the picture.
Yeah. Those guys are real. I've met those guys in comedy too. They exist. And it's it's always been a long-standing story in comedy. With Sam Kinison was into coke, and Richard Pryor famously had a problem. But you only hear about those kind of people when they make the news. When something happened. So I was always wondering, like back in your day when you first started, like was that a trope? Was that something that was discussed a lot with rock stars?
It's not. All the blow you could eat.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
When I was a kid and when I worked at a comedy club, they offered me coke or money, or a combination of both. You get paid in cash or coke. I was like, this is crazy.
I heard about a band with a frontman that I really respected that wanted to be paid in crack, and I just thought, you know what, I've lost all respect for you now.
Well, maybe he knew he could get it at a good price and sell it on the road.
Yeah, you never know.
It's hard to get good crack. Yeah, there's a lot of people that get like really lost on drugs, but that's why I'm always happy to speak with a person like yourself that's had your problems and put them aside and bounced back, and got healthy and is open about it. I think it's so important for guys to hear, and also that it's a trap too. That you get sucked up into that trap. You can be a good person, a solid person who's got confidence. You can accomplish things, but you can get still sucked in that trap.
Yeah, you can, because it's like people call it the big lie for a reason.
Yeah, the big lie. Yeah.
They call the tour books the big lie too. So speaking of touring,
the tour books.
Yeah, when you're out on tour, you get these itineraries, and I don't know when you travel if you go for long stints at a time or not, or if the UFC when they travel if they go for long stints at a time. But when we go, we usually have an itinerary. Which is our little book, and we call it the Book of Lies because all the information when the tour starts is all accurate, but by the time you get out and to that first date, stuff starts changing.
Oh, so you called that the big lie.
Yeah.
What was the longest time you've ever been on tour for?
72 weeks.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That had to feel so bizarre when you came off the road after that much time.
Yeah. It was back in the day when beds had quarter slots on them too, so we were sitting in these cheap hotels and watching WGN all day long. I sure learned a lot about the Atlanta Braves during that period, but yeah, it was rough.
Quarter slots mean you put a quarter in to pay for the television?
No, the bed would vibrate.
Oh.
Remember those? That's like bygone past.
Boy, I do remember that now that you bring it up. I don't think I ever experienced it personally, but I think I saw it in movies or something. Maybe one time when I was a kid they had that. I don't know when they got rid of that, but that was the most bizarre thing.
Yeah. We stayed at all those nice, fine establishments.
Is that supposed to enhance sex? You put a quarter in and
well,
your
if
bed
you're having
vibrates?
sex with a bed, I guess.
Yeah, I don't understand why that would be a net benefit to have a vibrating bed, but people would pay for it. I think everybody forgot about vibrating beds. You might have just revived an industry.
There you go.
Because I completely forgot. There it is. Magic Fingers relaxation service for your comfort. This bed is equipped with
the same.
What is it? The same Magic Fingers? Yeah. Why does it say the same? That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it was well, it was. It looks like they copywrote it, so it was like maybe people were just trying to steal their
But why was it say what a who? That's why it's out of business.
Yeah.
They're terrible at marketing. For your comfort, this bed is equipped with the same.
The same Magic Fingers relaxation service. I think it's supposed to go all together.
Right, but what? That's terrible. Like shitty font. Everything sucks.
Maybe
Yeah,
there was
it's formatted wrong. 'Cause it's a whole sentence, but they put an image in the middle. Stupid.
balling $7,000 a month off of a bed.
What?
Yeah.
They could make $7,000 a month just hotels, all that jazz, and then coming back home after 72 weeks. Is that what you said? 72 weeks on the road.
Mhm.
How long were you home for?
Let's see. We went right in after that and did Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? And I think that record took a couple of months to make. We weren't home for long.
That's a hard life.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was a lot of traveling, and since I was homeless, having a hotel to live in and a venue basically to live in, that was good for us. David Ellison didn't have to go home ever because he had his family to fall back on. I had no home to go to, so I had to make it last. So to a degree, being on tour in the venues, in the hotel rooms, it was a step up for me from being in a van.
Yeah, I guess. That's it still had to be kind of, I mean, for every musician, the dream is to record and to make a living touring and to have fans.
Mm.
So when you started having that, I would imagine you would want to ride that as quickly and as long as possible. Like if I was in a band, I would imagine I would want to tour for 72 weeks in a row too. Like it's happening for you.
Mm.
What was that like when, I mean, you were successful pretty early on in your life. Like how old were you when you were in your first band?
Panic was the band before Metallica.